In the previous video, we built a simple traffic light, and based on your requests, today we are going to add a timer to it. Now the lights will not only turn on and off, but a proper countdown will also be displayed alongside them, showing the timing of each signal. So without any delay, let's get straight to work and see how this complete countdown timer setup will be built step by step. To begin this new system, first of all, we need something that can provide power to our entire circuit and supply the required voltage for all the components to operate. That is why we have first placed a battery here. After adding the battery, we move toward the most important part of our system, which is our main timer clock. This is the component that will act like the heartbeat of the entire circuit and continuously generate pulses. Every new pulse will give the system a signal to perform the next step. Now let's move forward and properly configure this clock generator. You can see that we have connected resistors and capacitors with this main clock. These components may appear small, but their role is extremely important. With their help, the clock generator produces a stable and continuous signal that keeps the entire circuit synchronized. If this signal is not stable, the counting process will not operate correctly. Now, think about it for a moment. If we have pulses available, but no component to count them, then the whole timer concept would remain incomplete. That is why we connect the output of the clock to the clock pin of the counter. Now, whenever the clock generates a pulse, the counter receives that pulse and updates its counting process. In other words, every pulse helps the counter move toward the next number. To further control this counter, we place logic states on it. You can see that logic state connectors have been connected to the various inputs of the counter. With the help of these logic states, we can control the operation of the counter and manage its functionality according to our requirements. This is the configuration that will later define the behavior of the entire traffic system and ensure that every component performs its task in the correct sequence. The counter is counting, but we also need to monitor that counting. For this purpose, we connect the outputs of the counter to the inputs of a comparator. The job of the comparator is to compare incoming digital values and provide a signal to the next stage whenever a specific condition is met. In this way, the system continuously knows which stage the counting process has reached. Now that both the counting and comparison setup are ready, it is time to control the traffic lights according to their sequence. For this reason, we also include a decade counter in this circuit. This decade counter will handle the switching of the traffic lights and decide when the red light will turn on, when the yellow light will become active, and when the green signal will allow traffic to move. To give this digital circuit the actual appearance of a traffic system, we add 3 different LEDs. Here, the red LED represents the stop signal. The yellow LED represents the warning or transition state, while the green LED indicates that traffic can move. We connect all of these LEDs to the outputs of the decade counter through proper resistors so that the current remains controlled and the LEDs can operate safely. But how can we know what value the timer is currently displaying just by looking at the LEDs? For this reason, we place a decoder in the upper section of the circuit. The job of the decoder is to convert the binary data coming from the counter into a readable format for the 7-segment display. In other words, the values being processed internally by the counter will now appear as numbers on the display. Now our entire circuit has been completely connected. The wiring is complete, all the components have been placed in their proper positions, and you can also see a 7-segment display at the top. At the moment, the display is blank because the simulation has not yet started and the system is still in its inactive state. Now comes the moment where we test our circuit. As soon as we turn on the simulation, the entire system immediately becomes active. The clock starts generating pulses, the counter starts counting, and the decoder begins updating the display. Now the system continues performing its task continuously. With every pulse, the counter keeps updating its value, and the display changes accordingly. This clearly shows that the countdown is continuing continuously, and the timer is moving toward its final stage. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends.